for every inch of paracord on your bracelet that you want, you need a foot of paracord. So what you do is you measure your wrist just with the paracord. Take your tape measure, measure it out. He's got a 7-inch wrist, 7-inch wrist, so you would want a 8-inch paracord bracelet. But buckles will take that up. Buckles are 8-inch or 1 inch long, so it's easier to do with partner, friend. So this is paracord buckle. It's about 1 inch long.
That'll take the
That'll take the extra inch. And for safety, you don't want to waste the whole 8 feet of paracord, so you add 1 more foot. So he has 7-inch wrist. He wants an 8-foot bracelet just for comfortability. So you'd actually get 8 feet of paracord.
Give me 8.5. Just be safe. Alright, there we go.
You want to melt the ends too, so your inner strands don't come out. You can just use your inside of your lighter. Don't use a microtorch. Microtorch will go right through the paracord. Just use a cheap disposable lighter. And also with the lighter, if you burn it up here, they'll turn the paracord black if you have a white inner side. So just burn it on the bottom piece in the blue, and it won't get. And it'll actually cool off quicker, so you can use it with your hand, pinch it with your hands. So we got our 8 feet of paracord. Now we're going to show you how to start the weave.
Okay, where did you get the clips?
I bought this off Amazon, and I went for the best one they had, the 5-star one, and you can tell it's good when this part, the male end, isn't thin right here, so it won't wiggle when it's.
Okay.
That's the best buckle that they had on the site.
Alright, one thing I forgot to mention is it is easier if you melt the ends and then flatten them, because it's easier to get it through the buckle. So I'm going to do that real quick.
It
Just
is
as simple as that.
melted nylon, so it is pretty hot. So be aware.
Yeah, burning it in the blue area will actually make it cooler, so you can use it with your fingers. But if you have pliers, use your pliers. Alright. So now what you want to do to start this is you get your 2 ends, feed them up through the bottom of the female end. Bring it all the way to the bottom. Feed it through the loop. And pull it tight.
Okay, so basically you're feeding it through to the middle and then creating a half hitch.
Yep.
Okay.
And keep these
ends
at the same.
Keep your hands down here.
And you want to keep your ends fairly close.
So
Alright.
feed it through, work it so that it's in the middle of the paracord.
Yep.
Then create a 1/2 inch.
And you
Okay.
do not want your 1/2 inch to be on the sides of your buckle, because that will mess your bracelet up a little bit. It's better to have it nice and neat like that.
Okay.
Then you get your ends again. Feed them through the bottom of the male end. Now, we need to measure the bracelet to make sure that it's at 8 inches. And the female end will take up 1 inch. So you measure it at 8 inches. So we got 8 inches. And now to start the weave. The first one is very hard. It's the hardest. You got to make sure that your buckle doesn't move. To do the weave, you need to make an L with one side, one strand. It doesn't matter which. Then you take your other one and bring it under that strand, the two main strands that are holding the bracelet together, and up through the L.
Okay, hold on.
So it'll look something like
So
that.
one crosses over the top, the other one crosses over, and then under.
No, under. No, under.
No, it crosses over this first.
Oh, yeah.
Then under the two strands, and then back over.
Back through.
Yeah.
The L. Then you gotta be careful. That one's always the hardest. And it'll look a little crooked, but that's alright because it's the first one.
First one you have.
And make sure that you measure it, because you don't want to get halfway through your...
Like the phrase, measure once and cut twice.
Yep.
Or
My first
measure
time.
twice and cut once.
My first time making a paracord bracelet, I did that, and it was just a little bit too short, and I had it halfway done.
You
I had
didn't
to
get
redo
it,
it.
did you? Like the phrase, measure once and cut twice, or measure twice and cut once. You don't get it.
Or just
No.
keep cutting till you get it.
Oh.
That's what it is.
The phrase is measure it twice, cut it one time.
Alright, then it's the same thing, but you take the other side, make the L, or backwards L now. Bring it under
And then through.
and through. Pull it tight. Make sure it's really nice and tight. You don't want it to droop down. You want to make sure, like, when you hold it up, when it's a finished product, you want it to be able to stay stiff and just, it should be able to hold itself up. So make sure it's really nice and tight.
Yeah, you don't want it loose. Here's a
Can you get it over
good
tight?
example.
Not
No.
really.
Not really. Okay, so the continuing pattern is bring this
Left.
over
Over.
the top, then bring this. No, too many hands in here. Then you bring this over the top of that, under the double,
these, and through.
and then through.
Yep.
Okay. Show us one more time.
Make the L.
Do you have to alternate sides?
Yep.
Okay.
If you don't alternate sides, then it'll be all out of whack and it won't work.
What I like to do is when I first start the first loop you have, I'm right hand dominant, so I do the right side as the L first, and I'll do the left.
So you're starting to get your normal
Okay.
weave.
Do one more.
And one other thing, this is only one of the styles of paracord bracelets. There's numerous. There's shark tooth, ladder rack. This is a cobra weave. It's the most common. You'll mostly see these in the stores.
Okay.
Alright, and then once the first one's done, Ben,
Once the first one's done,
slide it up a bit.
slide it up. You got to make sure that you maintain your 7 inches that you needed.
Yeah, but Benny, help me.
Keep it as
confused.
Said you have, so.
Don't laugh at my strugglingness.
Hang on. Slow it down. Okay, so you go.
This comes so naturally to me. I make these in 5 minutes.
I make these in bed.
I
tight
don't.
as tight as
I'll
you can,
sit
okay?
down when I'm watching a movie. I'll just sit there. I don't even need to look.
Go ahead.
I need the measuring tape.
What did you measure?
Yeah, 7, but
Casey, how do you do this again?
Can I do it for you?
You just want me to do this for you?
just you're not explaining.
You don't
well
explain
enough.
it very well.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know how to explain it.
It's like you do it too fast and then you're done.
Yeah, you're done in a couple seconds. You're learning this.
Okay.
Here's a
can you-
computer.
So can you go slower? So you
I
take.
had to
I
look to
gotta-
the
I
right,
gotta
and
get
then
mine
you
started
walked
real
away
quick
from me after I was telling you, okay, what's
When you
next?
get
What's
Okay,
next?
I'm right-handed.
Okay, so how do you finish it?
Alright, well, I still have a couple more ties that I can do. You want to get as much as you can, or else eventually this will loosen. And notice how tight I have this. It's not drooping or anything. It's
Okay.
nice and stiff. So I'll quickly finish this up. That's how the top always looks, though. The top always looks really bad. You gotta try to get that one last thing. You don't really want any paracord showing. Yeah, I did that top wrong. Alright, so once you get to the end here, take your scissors.
Then you do your top backwards.
Cut it real small, real short.
So it's about a quarter of an inch you left.
Yep. And then you torch it, melt it. And I got that real nice. It's set onto this paracord. This paracord isn't melted though, so it'll still the strength of the paracord right here that the melted part is on there's no strength lost.
So when you get to the end, you cut it off and you are actually melting it so that it adheres back to the cord?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut it short again.
No, I mean it's gotta be ended because there's not enough for me to.
Now we get coal started for him, and I'll work. I'll just. And there you go. That's your paracord bracelet.
Okay. Thank you.